Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a very important price structure in Bitcoin and in Mara stock because a lot of these fluctuations have been highly expected. I've been talking about them a ton, giving you guys early warning signs based on my opinion, and we're seeing something very similar that we've seen in the past as well. So we are going to realistically prepare for this week's FOMC interest rate announcement. Remember that is going to be uh bring it over to the screen. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern uh New York time, right? And then well, the actual that's the FOMC interest rate decision, and then 30 minutes after we have the press conference, which is also extremely important because it's still even right now the market is highly expecting, and I do believe in my own opinion. Remember, everything I say in this video is just my own opinion. I like to share with you guys what I'm looking at. I like to share with you guys how I'm making sense of things. Please do your own research and please do your own due diligence. But we always seen this before. We've seen this happen so many times in the past. I mean, I don't remember what days they are, but I mean, I've been documenting them. A lot of you have been watching them, and you already know. But right now, what we have is anticipation of a highly expected what could potentially be a 0.25 interest rate cut. Now, we're gonna jump into Bitcoin after Mars stock because Mars stock can easily be highly influenced. Remember what I said back here. I called the top in this area. I said, hey, it's a good idea to potentially start selling because we hit the take profit extension area. At any point, we can come down into the overall retracement from the low of $9.80. Although, the retracement all the way up to the high that we seen earlier this year in July, we came down into the red retracement, which is an accumulation area. And right now, what we're seeing is a potential, right? So it's not there yet. We do not have confirmation. Um, but what we have is a potential for a bullish breakout. We will find out tomorrow. Now, I did sell the $75,000 IBIT position that here it is. This is the closing transactions. Um, the smaller amount is the partial share ownership that I had. So a little bit over $1,800 profit on that little swing trade, and I sold all of it. And I'm gonna get into that in a moment, but just getting that one out the way. So I locked in profit on that one earlier than I wanted to, but I have my reasons for it. So now this announcement, right? It's highly expected it will be a 0.25 interest rate cut. Nothing bigger than that, really, just because inflation is still kind of holding up there, and then we have jobs report are just terrible. So this is more of a way to like soften everything. Hopefully, get those jobs numbers going up, um, and that can influence. And then he's probably going to talk about that during the conference as well. So this can highly influence a potential sell news event because I do believe a lot of this is being factored in. With that being said, with Mara stock, and now you guys know, we're in an accumulation area, but that does not mean we just have to focus on that trade. We have short-term fluctuations to keep an eye on. So what I've been saying since all the way back here, I've been saying the same thing over and over again. It's all about buying shorts and buying longs and taking profit on them every time we reach the opposite side of the current consolidation area. So if right now, we're seeing the price go up. Now it's just like right here. Remember, everyone was being like a little bit too optimistic in the short term, and everyone focuses like just like in Bitcoin. Real quick, I'm gonna show you. Everyone focuses on the smaller picture trends. Or like, oh, it's going down. Oh my gosh, but no one like people often forget to look at the bigger picture structure, and it's like, okay, well, hey, you know, um, we've been downtrending. We've been following the price with this overall retracement area in blue. We're in that resistance area, and we also hit the extension to support the premium section of this area. So we hit that. It's like, all right, we haven't seen the RSI bottom out in a while. We haven't seen micro resistance break out. We haven't seen the 120 moving average get broken. We still have some more room to go up. Okay, but now the risk of the price coming down into retracement, and it's going to look like this. Here's the current overall support retracement down here, and then at any point we can just top out because again we hit the price area we want to. I locked in profits. There's no reason to like think otherwise. It's okay to now have like super short term with some tight SLs, but the price is weakening as expected. But here's the thing, right? If Bitcoin, because tomorrow's Monday, if Bitcoin does continue to weaken a little bit and tries to cross that 120 moving average, which to me is highly probable. That's the ideal pathway I'm looking at because it makes sense. I'm gonna get that into a moment. Just like back here, and this is why I was talking about this earlier. Back here, I said any small weakness in Bitcoin can amplify in Mara stock. And we saw a little bit of weakness in Mara stock, and then we had this giant value gap. The price just tanked on Mara and it went down into this area, right? It was highly expected. We hit the take profit area. It was about time we had a retracement and we filled that retracement super, super quick. So now any small weakness leading into the first trading week of this new week, then well, the first trading day of this new week, we can see the support area get hit again. Now remember what I said, I've been saying this a lot, that until we have a confirmed breakout, which is the price breaking over resistance, and I mean it's the same thing for the support line, it's breaking support line, but breaking the, in this case the price is up, right? So I'm going to use it as an example. It's breaking resistance and then holding resistance as support. So far, the RSI has not maxed out yet, but the RSI does not really matter right now because it is the weekend. So, if this continues to hold and the price breaks over the swing high, the small micro picture swing high, it's very, very possible that we can start shooting up into the 17s and then potentially max out somewhere between 18 and 19 bucks. Momentum can easily push it up. But here's the thing, we have strong resistance. We have swing high here, and then another swing high. Resistance in this area is very strong, and right now that's mainly due to Bitcoin weakening a little bit. So, like I said, until we have that confirmation, like right now, I'm looking at shorts. To me, shorts make sense because we don't have that bullish confirmation yet. But then if you're asking like, what if we take a short and the price just pops? That's what SLs are for. I keep stressing this so often in so many other videos. That's what SLs are for. You buy here, you buy some shorts. SL can, for example, just in my own opinion, an SL can be a solid. You can go maybe a cent higher, $16.65, or you can even do 16.70. But that's your SL, right? Cool. And then TP will be down back at support, and that will be the take profit for shorts. And the idea here is that just like right here, even though we broke up and we made these higher highs right here, volume was super weak. And I kept saying, we just aren't seeing that resistance acting as support right now. It's just not confirmed. At any point, we can drop down back into support. And it's exactly what we did. Just because we're seeing that now once again, I am not saying, all right, this is time to go long like crazy. Like, no, absolutely not. There is no breakout confirmed just yet. All we are doing is resting over the resistance line over a weekend. So as of right now, I'm still looking for lower prices. Buying shorts right now, in my opinion, is the way to go. And the SL, you're good. You're good on that, right? That it's as simple as that. You let the trade play itself. You can set like a limit, take profit, at $15, and you're solid, right? You just let the trade play out. You either get stopped out or you'll hit your take profit. Right now, highly probable it'll come down and hit TP. The shorts will hit TP back as support, and then we'll just continue this structure until I mean, it's as simple as that, right? So I don't need to repeat myself too much. It's just a lot of people forget because it's very easy to focus on the smaller picture and forget the bigger one. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin, I sold the IBIT position, and now I'm gonna make a video in the future. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to illustrate it, but I have a strategy, and just because I sold IBIT does not mean I have no exposure to Bitcoin. I'm gonna making a video soon, and I mean we have a lot of stuff going on. I'm working on things for the Discord. I'm working on things for the website. I'm working on covering more stocks and more crypto because I want to diversify, what we talk about on this channel quite a bit, and then really have a bigger watch list than just Mara and Bitcoin. I'm trading a lot of other things, but I want to figure out a way to actually, and I am, to show it to you guys. But as of right now with Bitcoin, right, the idea here is that, okay, I kept saying, even since we were back here, even since we were all the way back here, I kept saying at the moment Bitcoin breaks up into this blue retracement area, again, it's currently from all-time high all the way down to this swing low down here. Red being accumulation area. So you guys remember, I've been accumulating IBIT, $75,000 into IBIT. Added it in within the red. And I kept saying, I'm looking to sort partial, potentially everything, but mostly partial. I ended up selling everything within resistance, because just because we're seeing the price trend higher very nicely does not mean it can't have a retracement. And at this point, retracement is very, very probable, because we are not just within this resistance area, right? It's simple investor sentiment calculated within the Fib structures. I also gave you guys an extension based on some early moves of how high the price can go. The price actually breaking into this take profit resistance area right here. Like, this is plenty to reduce position size, potentially lock in some profit, and then wait for the setup to unfold a little bit more and then make sense of it itself, right? I sold everything. I didn't want to hedge. Right now I think UVXY for the VIX is a really, really good, interesting trade potentially coming up, and it always plays out as a really, really good hedge. At any point we can see the VIX pop, right? And that can be a simple way to hedge and make some money as well. I believe I hedged, I don't know if it was like a month ago or maybe like about 2 months ago, if you guys remember that. And it did its job, and we made a small profit on it. But that's just something looking forward into next week, right? Potentially we'll see what happens. But what I'm looking for right now, is, remember, price is going up into this week. The price may be factoring in this announcement, right, on Wednesday. So what I'm doing is, okay, well, we hit our resistance areas. I reduced my position. I just sold it all, locked in some profits. And now I'm looking for an overall retracement to this area. I want to see the RSI bottom out, extended to the downside. I want to see the 120 moving average get crossed, and I want to see this higher low potential form. Now remember, before we reach this blue area, I kept saying the likelihood of us holding a higher low and going higher, like over 120k, it's very, very likely, as long as we hit this overall resistance area, because it has enough volume behind it to hold a higher low. And if we don't, then we're looking at potential deep value short-term areas. So far it's not, and I'm not invalidating this area just yet, because we got to see if overall support is going to hold, and that's why I reduced my position. It's very likely that we can come down. We have a nice gap to fill. The price did its thing to the upside. So now when it comes down into this area, I want to open up another position. I may, I believe, once we break into the yellow, so 113.5k, 0.35 extension, so retracement. The moment we break into it, I'll open a $50,000 IBIT position. If volume begins to weaken and shows a potential reversal, I may back it up with BitU and do a 2x leverage with 10k, and then continue to add to it as we see smaller picture higher highs and higher lows forming, potentially breaking the price higher and going up to breaking over 118 up to 120, where we have resistance at the moment right there, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now. I will keep you guys updated. There's really nothing yet until we see Monday's price action really do its thing. We'll get a better sense of what's going on. Or no, today, yeah, it's Sunday, yeah, tomorrow, Monday. So right now, price is weakening. As you can see, we're struggling to break short-term resistance, which means very likely we can come into this area. I locked in my profit. I'm looking to reaccumulate below 114 into this potential higher low opportunity. And then what I'm going to do there is look at how healthy it is to add on top of that. And then we'll continue the trade, because I still believe we have higher prices to go. You guys already know 128k is my next target area. We'll see how it goes, and I'll keep you guys updated.